Alright, here we go. Hello everyone, welcome back to more of this. Alright, so last time I talked about just me enjoying fighting games and stuff like that, so today I want to kind of go over the basics of just this game, I suppose. I'll just hit the training room real quick. Now, Skullgirls is a team-ish fighting game. If you've played a game like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or 3, you'll kind of understand that. It's like everyone functions as a team, and you can call out assists and all that fun stuff. There's a lot of variance between how that works in Marvel and how that works here, and we'll go over that in just a second here. But first of all, you have to choose the size of your team. And the power of your team scales based on how many characters you have, one character being very powerful on its own, but you don't get any assists, and then 2 or 3 characters being less powerful and having less health. Excuse me. But you do get the assists in that case. In my case, I usually play 2 to 3 characters, depending on how I'm feeling. They'll go with the same 2 I went with the last video, which is Squiggly. Now, when you do choose your assist for your character, you can choose one of the 2 pre-selected type moves, or you can actually put in a custom move just by moving the stick around and doing the buttons for whatever move you're trying to do. In my case, for Squiggly, I do a standing overhead for the reasons of the lockdown. Then we play double, and in double's case, we go with the Hornet Bomber L for pressure reasons. And then typically when I do go into practice mode, I just do the same amount of characters and I random too, because the character weights are different in this game, which is something advanced that I can dig into later. So then you get into Skullgirls, which is all good and fine and fun. Most characters have a double jump, I believe, if not all of them. Not all of them have air dashes. So there's that, the obvious typical motions of most fighters. You can forward dash and back dash and all that stuff. Some characters have shorter back dashes than others. In Squiggly's case, she has a very long back dash, and she can dash for a very long time forward, unlimited. Now, every character has different moves. Everything chains as well. So if you're used to, again, a Marvel 2, Marvel 3 setting, you can just chain your normals into each other just by pushing the buttons like that. So you have, light, medium, heavy. And some can just go twice like that. And some characters can chain across the way like that, or like, just things like that where it's pretty standard for that type of game. So there's not a lot of execution involved in just running across the board. You just kind of go yada yada, and it works. And that's kind of neat. As far as combos go, the combo system is a little more complicated, but it's very simple once you get into it. I'm not exactly sure how to explain the stages of combos, which can be kind of complicated just because I think there's like 7. I could be very wrong or go straight to 5. But the way it usually works is your jump in, your first move on your jump in, and your first ground chain are what we consider free. They don't actually cost you anything in your combo chain. Let me see if I can turn that on in training options real quick. Attack data. It's probably up here someplace. I know it exists. Let me see here. Slow motion, no. Attack data. I think that'll work. Ah, there we go. So if you look, I'm gonna move me, so you can take a look at this. And we'll put me up here. That's a good place to put me for now. If you look there in the center, you will see that. If you look there in the center, you'll see what looks like a fight stick. And what that does is it tells you where you've used certain moves in your combo. The neat thing about Skullgirls is you cannot actually repeat moves in a combo unless it's under very specific circumstances. So if you watch when I do a combo, you'll notice that it starts to fill up the bars. If you see the lower half of the buttons there light up, then that means that the combo has used that particular button. If you use it again, your opponent gets a free burst. and they can get knocked out, and you can get knocked out of your combo, which is not optimal in a lot of cases. If you see it highlight on the top half, that means that the aerial portion's been used. You can use the same move one time in the air and one time on the ground. So let's just do the combo I did yesterday, which looks a lot like this. If I don't screw it, whatever. Whoops. I might have to get a slightly heavier character. Misfortune's kind of light, which makes it a little harder for her to do certain combos because I have to drop her a little lower to perform them. So let's try it again with this character. One more time. There we go. And so on and so forth, and you can see that I've kind of used up all the bottom bits there. You would think that maybe I could use, the ground versions of all the kicks or the air versions of all the punches, but in Squiggly's case specifically, that move knocks her back too far to usually follow up with anything. And that's just kind of a combo starter because it's a light move. And that is weird. You can use it in certain combos. It's kind of neat. But there's another aspect of the combo that you really can't see because my camera's blocking it. I guess I should have thought of this ahead of time, but that's perfectly fine. So we're going to move my camera over here instead, and you're going to notice that there is a bar underneath the health bar there on their side. And if you watch when I do the combo, it begins to fill up. It's a little green bar. Now let's do the same combo again one more time, and you'll see what I mean. There we go. There's the best example I can give you of what that particular bar means. When it fills up and starts flashing like that, it means that if you try to add any more moves that you haven't used already, they will be able to burst out of your combo. Oh, and you'll see the little white thing picked up because I used that same move again. But the point is, if I tried to use any other move there, if I tried to use the jumping versions of any of the punches or the standing version of any of the kicks, the combo would become too complex. There'd be too much there, and they'd be allowed to burst out anyway. It's a system used to prevent overly long combos and promote more resets. So you kind of do things like drop your combo here or there, and it kind of lets you finagle some stuff. In the case of Squiggly, usually my resets come in the form of this section of the combo, and then I can come in and do some stuff afterwards, do setups and things like that, because there's a little space where I have some freedom to move around. But that's kind of where that kind of sets in. So your combos can only be so complex. But you get the idea there. So that's kind of a neat thing about the combo system. You can't really repeat moves. They get a burst out. You can bait the burst, though, and kind of punish them for it, which is what I did. This hitbox is very disjointed from where Squiggly actually is, so if it hits them just barely, I can actually go up and kind of cancel it. And in that case, you see that I'm actually like plus 11. Which is plenty of time for me to run up and hit them after I've done the combo. You can kind of see that, I think, if I tried. Or I can screw the whole thing up entirely. But that's kind of the point of it. Is that you can get away with some weird stuff in Skullgirls, and I'm apparently dropping this combo like crazy. Huh. One more again. I found the problem. And there you go, you kind of get the idea that I can charge in after that and start hitting them. And that's really neat. That's one of the things I enjoy about the game is you can kind of set up your own little combos and your own little resets and stuff, and the game is very creative in letting you do that. There's a lot of space to kind of figure all that stuff out. And that's kind of just the combo system of the game. There's a lot of other little neat, intricate things about it. Whoosh. Just involving what is it? Like meter gain and things like that, and assists and calling them in. Like there's the example of an assist I can call in if I start a combo or I do like a weird reset, which In that case, it's the choice between block. You have to figure out whether or not you're going to block the overhead or block the low. There's no true unblockables in this game. You just kind of have to figure out which one came first, and the other one will be blocked for you naturally, which is really kind of cool. At least for me. I enjoy that kind of system. Double is a different character altogether that I'll dig into at some point in the future, I'm sure. But for now, that's kind of what I want to talk about, was just like the combo systems and kind of the introductions to Skullgirls and all that stuff. You don't always have to play a team. Obviously, I started out playing this game a long time ago when it first released, just playing double by herself, and it kind of shows. I can't do some of her more complicated combos that have come up since the updates and things like that. Her dash used to not be this. Her dash used to just be this, and this is now a command special, like it's a command dash of some kind. So there were a lot of neat tricks you could do with dashing with her, and you can still do them, I suppose, but it used to be a lot different. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with double. That's long since been an outdated combo. Whoops. I keep mixing my buttons up. And you can do all kinds of neat stuff with her. But that combo has since become very outdated. And that's closer to what the more updated one looks like. I can't do it exactly verbatim just yet, and I haven't really been practicing, so I can't really pull it off, but it looks a lot more like that. And it's kind of character specific too, which makes it kind of weird to do. Let's try and actually do it real quick one time. Except I'm going to drop it like crazy. Anywho, that's kind of the point of the combo. It usually ends just... Then you turn into a car, and you hit him with a car. And that's kind of how that works. I think that's really about it for this video, though. I'm trying to just do a few things on fighting games because it's very easy for me to sit down and explain them to you in about a 15-minute chunk here and there. I have a lot of work to do with the other playthrough that I'm working on because I have to go through and record a big, long video about why it wasn't working and what happened in the interim with all the parts where it just got cut out and muted, and that kind of sucks. I'll get back to that and down the line somewhere. Definitely near future. I just got to figure out when to do it. Aside from that, you can follow me on the Twitters and the Facebooks. You'll see links for that. Or not the Facebooks, I don't have a Facebook. But you can follow me on Twitter in the description there. I try to post updates when I do videos like this. So you follow me there, get updates and things like that. I take all kinds of questions through there if you have anything you want to ask me. And then, in any other news, I will see you guys in some future videos. Take care.